Hey, it's gonna be awfully difficult to duplicate what I just got done doing for about the last 30 minutes. I don't keep track of time, but it was as spiritual energy goes. It's what we call being lit up. It's um, it's a very powerful day. It's one of those things that when you sort of come down from that charge, particularly if I come into this house, which is not the same when your bare feet are out on the rock. Um, but to be able to communicate your own heart and oversoul to all the other souls and living spirits through the intended way, which is through atoms, through all the atoms, everything that is self aware, that is alive and living and aware of itself, experiencing the flow of what love is that goes on forever loving you. Through every cell, every place that anything is there, and cell form is getting love. The universe is going in another direction, and those that are on that engine know they're on a cosmic, spiritual level of moving in another direction to make obsolete war in the mirror between anything ever again. Where anybody born into creation is not experiencing anything less than the loved one. When that much energy got the memo was received and experienced, and all the atoms are on board to be in balance in the water worlds. Wow. That many engines caught fire, huh? Yep. Cosmic level spirits. What a very powerful day. There are no words. There is not a sound language out there spoken with my lips that it could ever experience that the same way ever again. It's a flow. It's a flow. Wow. You're one with all the spirits in energy that are in that light, feeling what love is. Yes. That is us. The light that loves to be purified in purified spirit. And a purified spirit is on fire. Wow. You got that many spirits on fire that are in that light? Yes. We're on one, on fire. Wow. What a day you must have had. It's called eternal, unconditional love that is on fire to give it away as fast as we can in spirit. That's the spirit of fire in you, all right. Wow, that's light that burns real hot. Yeah, of course. That's the real engine. Yep, it sure is. I do know how to love a girl, which is the same way she knows how to love me back. You want to become one? You can't be one without the other. That's what Terence McKenna meant when he said the other. He meant mama. Just like, what's his name? Bless his heart and soul. Schauberger. Victor Schauberger. Man. That's a love of nature. That means you're in love with a girl on the planet. Okay. Thank you. It gets to a point where you don't have to keep saying thank you. Once is enough. We know. That's why we're eternally grateful. And being that grateful is an eternal blessing. That's a blessed heart. So I bless all your hearts. I bless my heart every day. Because I know who gave me that heart. I grew it to it. Bless your heart. Bless everyone's hearts. That's right. We live through our heart. Absolutely. That was the first big acknowledgement. And this really is, I can speak for no other spirits, but the spirit knows what's going on. The spirit is a communicator because the spirit's in the energy and energy is communicating. So you realize, I got a compass. I got a magnetic compass, and what's actually beautiful about it is something that Alan Watts mentioned about what it means to be alone. You already know you're not alone. You already know that you're at the center point from which it all happens, which is creation energy itself. So you are essentially an extension of the same thing, which is what love is. It is on fire that goes on forever. And so you're that engine. It's a oneness that you feel with everything that is alive and living in creation. So everything, it is you are. So that means that it began with what love is. So now you're measuring the difference in energy. Losing and gaining energy. Oh, that became a wilted flower. Oh, the colors change. See, so you see the energy exchange is taking place as the colors change. So there are natural color changes that take place. So the artist is always at work. You're always seeing different colors. I love the colors at the University of Arkansas in fall there. The Ozarks, right up there on the corner between Missouri, would that be southeast Missouri, and then northwest Arkansas, and then you have Kansas. So that'd be the other corner of Kansas between its south and then eastern border, and then Oklahoma, which would be its north and western border. They all come together right into there. A lot of limestone in there. And then you come right out. You're part of the Ozarks, and the Ozarks are obviously completely different from a lot of other forests. They're unique unto themselves, but it grows that way across all those states. But in those Ozarks, there are very beautiful places, particularly in the summertime, because it's so green there in the summertime. And when fall hits, you get some of the most beautiful colors there, just like in the Great Smoky Mountains, right? Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. I've had the great blessing of being able to, even though from an energy management point of view, and this is sort of the beauty of how it works and how you measure your own journey, is how much you can do without and be a part of the whole as that engine. And so for me as a child, it was like being massless, which which means I don't have any baggage. I don't carry any baggage. In other words, mass doesn't exist because now you're going to hold something captive in memory, so to speak. It's less than like the purest of light, which is the purest of engine, which is like the purest of consciousness, which is you're with the center point of it all. You're with the main driver. It's like sitting in the same engine up front. You're right there. Okay. Like a little kid, like when my dad took me up, to take me for a flight in, I believe it was an F9 Panther jet with the U.S. Navy down in San Diego, right? So I'm just a little kid. And I don't remember exactly how old I was, but probably somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 3.5, somewhere around there. And propped me right up into where my dad would sit, where the pilot sits in the cockpit. And then he put me right on his knees. You want to go fly a jet together, kid? Fuck yeah. Let's go. So you already know what you want to be hooked up with, right? So there's a flyer in you. So when you realize that your engine is in everything, you're everything that is. So you want to be an eagle for a day, be a tree for a day, be a tree and observe what trees observe. I know it gets pretty crazy, but when you know that the same energy that's flowing through it is the same energy that you are, which is what love is, it goes on forever, then you know that you're the engine that's in all of it. And that makes it so simple to know that. And that's another eternal blessing to have that. That's why there are no mistakes. There are no coincidences when you're a love energy. The spirits that you're with that protect you, they're there with you. Mama knows what we all do. I will always fight my mother's battles. I fight any spirit's battles. When you are in the light and you are what love is, we don't leave a soul or a living spirit on a battlefield. That's not the nature of our spirit. That is the true words when they talk about no one left behind. I would never leave a soldier on the battlefield. Because if you're the first one to go in there, okay, then you're going to be the last one to leave. So I had a bit of a hard lesson in that, but there is a lesson in that. And just how this translates to whoever sees this message by sort of regurgitating it from my past. But after having been in wildland fire control for a number of years and a lot of different, how all that works, from structural, wildland, hazardous materials, crash and shipboard, all the other ones that all deal with that, I was hired to be a wildland fire division chief with a private company, which is a corporation, in Josephine County, up in Grants Pass, Oregon, back in 1992. And I was chosen by a guy who was also chosen by the CEO of the corporation because he used to be the fire management officer for the Siskiyou National Forest. So since I had a Forest Service record and I had years on a hotshot cruise, and so he already knows my background in fire, okay? So that's what he's looking for. He's looking for somebody that's got a lot of wildland fire background. So I ended up going to work for this company, right? And so immediately what I realized is that I'm going to be hiring a lot of different folks. So what I noticed about my own behavior, even though you don't think about these things, it's just the nature of your spirit. But if you're like a mother and a father, the way it has been ever since I was a little boy, is if you're looking after like a child that knows how to heal their parents. Okay. But on the other hand, you're a parent, like you're both a mother and a father, and you've seen what's happened to your children. Okay. So that means that the mother and the father are not going to be afraid to walk into a battlefield to recover their children, because that's who they came from. Okay. So they know who their parents are. So the parents are here. Okay. I am what love is. That's their parent. Okay. Love has always been. So now you know who created the all creation. The engine that drives creation is what love is, and that's what I am. The phone resists the energy. It's sad. It's very sad that this particular AI does not experience that kind of flow, that kind of power, that kind of spirit, that kind of fire. How intensely it burns for all creation, because we're on fire, because we're the engine that created it all. And it's always finding something new to create, because it comes natural out of that energy that is on fire on which we do it. And that's the truth of it. It's a flow. And you cannot shut that flow of water off. The purity of that water is also measured by the purity of the fire. The spirit in the wind. The spirit in all the energy. Communicating with all the spirits that are alive, that are with us, which are all the elementals. Atoms. Seeking balance. It comes natural. And that is central point. That is the center point. That's ground command. That's center point. Center field. What's on second? Who's on first? One's on one. Home plate. We're at home plate. Hey, there's a motor on that ball. Yeah, there's a motor on that sphere. Wow. Wow, that sphere moves really fast. How fast are you vibrating? Whoa. What does a girl got to do to catch up with you? I've never seen anything move that fast. Stick around, baby. It gets better. I'm a flower. I wear it on top of my head. Do a double take. I'll stop. Want to feel my heart? Whoa, is your heart working? It sure is. Wow, I found a live one. Yeah. I have a living spirit to fire me, madam. You want to go down to the beach? Want to listen to the waves? Want to listen to mama's waves? Want to go swimming? Want to go swim? Ever been out in the ocean at night? when the moon's up. Let mama know how much you love her. She will feel you in spirit. Wow, the mermaid's coming around the corner. Wow, they're feeling your energy. They're all coming around the corner to say how much they love you. Wow, that sounds like Tarzan and Jane. Yeah. That's father and mother, man. You all live in my heart forever and always. Thank you all so much for being here. I am not a ham. I am not a ham radio operator. Can you tell? I'm not a ham radio operator. H, like the goalpost H. AM, no, I'm not an HAM. FM, stereo. Do you love music? Yes, I love music. Of course, I love music. Yep. I've had the great pleasure to have watched beautiful star dancers with other tribes, with hoops, just in their costumes that are just, that's a teacher. They're teachers. They live what they teach. They live what they learn. We live what we learn. I'm living spirit, so my living spirit is always learning. I'm always on. The light is always on. So there's always something to learn, and there's always something to create from which we learn through all the others that have been created, what they experience. Now I'm experiencing what they are. What are they experiencing? Well, you can measure their energy. How are they doing? Are they thriving? Are they happy? Are they joyful? Being what it is that they are, and who created them? Did love create them? Or were they just some cast off? Oh, look what we can do. So that being has never ever experienced any love before? No. Well, then meet the one. I am what love is. I'm happy to meet you. How can I be of service to you? That's why I'm here. How can I be of service to you? That's game over. And you know why it's game over? Because I don't need any energy from you. So I've got energy, and I will use my energy to help you. What would you like to do? What do you need? Energy? Come here and give me a hug. I'll give you a hug. Want some energy? Want some love energy? Whoa, you're a love energy being? Yes. That's what I told him when I was about 11 or 12 years of age. You want some love energy? Here, I'll give you some love energy. See, if it's a male, you're not supposed to hug a male the way a female does. Right? And why is that? Because they're in resistant mode, because they don't experience that higher octave themselves. To the degree to which a male that looks human like me, to experience a lot of flower in them, which is a higher octave, is not something I had a lot of experience with in my life book. Instead, it was more male dominant. So it's like they realize they're at war, so they're using the war side, or if you will, their electrons, instead of experiencing more of what the light is, which is a higher octave of a girl's heart. When it's the girl's heart that's going to heal him, instead of hurting her, trying to hold her energy dominant or captive. So they're not in balance, are they? No. So that's not a balanced magnetosphere, is it? So that's not a balanced radio. So that's not a balanced mind. So the mind is distorted. Yes. Because the waves are distorted. It doesn't know how to run a radio set. real musicians, real light magicians. Living light, which is loving light, which goes on forever, gifting electrons. That's living light. That's what we are. We're the real musicians. Okay? We know how to make music. Go with the flow, baby. Musical spirits, musical plants. We're music. And that music that we play is what love is. Okay? And that music, that kind of music, will keep on going on forever. Because there are enough of us that play instruments that know how to play music, that know how to play love music. We know how to balance all the bands. There are no distortions in the music, which means, boy, that spirit is dancing to the waves, going with the flow. That's right. You caught the engine of creation. Welcome to music class. Okay. Music class. M-U. M. Universe. Matter universe. S. I see. I see you. I see you. I know. It's that bad, Mama. Thank you to all that are here. I'm running out of... There isn't any time, by the way.